I'm just happy as a lark to talk with you. You're such a busy actor.
Yeah, well, I'm very fortunate. That's for sure. Yeah.
However, I think that you should have played Peter Stone in Endangered Species because, really.
we would have got a bit more stoned, wouldn't we?
Yeah, just one more show with Peter Stone.
One more Stone, yeah. Just another show.
Yeah, well, Neil Diamond sang about you in the song Stones. So,
I didn't know that.
This interview has gotten off to a weird start, hasn't it?
I like it. No, I'm game for that.
Tell me about working in Africa, because that's got to be a huge logistical nightmare, I think.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate. I've worked a lot in South Africa. So Johannesburg, Cape Town, KwaZulu-Natal, down the wild coast there. But this was our first time in Kenya. MJ Bassett and I have a longstanding relationship. We've made a lot of shows together. And we were making a movie called Rogue in Johannesburg.
With Megan Fox.
With Megan Fox at the end of 2019. Mm-hmm. And we were going to make Endangered Species right on the end of that. But a few things happened. There were some script issues and some other things, and it pushed us to 2020. And then, of course, 2020. Need we say more?
Yeah.
So I got a call from MJ probably about August sometime saying, I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to pull it off. Molly Hassel, MJ's producer, and MJ had gone to Kenya and started doing location scouting, and had found a crew that was willing to work. And they made some calls to some actors, and we all hopped on a plane and we headed over there. I think it was October sometime in 2020. And and we got her done. We used I think it was the NBA model where every 3 days you get tested.
Yeah.
And once you get into your bubble, you don't have to stay. You don't have to stay up. You can stay up. You can stay together, right? So we were all individually in our rooms for 3 days. We got tested. Then we could start slowly integrating and working together. And then nobody else was allowed into that bubble, and nobody was allowed out of it. So the logistics are a real thing, and that's still what's happening. I'm in Nevis right now, which is the sister island, St. Kitts and Nevis, and I've got my quarantine bracelets on here. This is my one that says I'm in quarantine, and all these other colors are temperature stuff every day. And so we're in a 14-day quarantine here.
Wow, you can still get into Studio 54 with those bands, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like I'm in a rave, right?
This movie is incredibly action-packed. I mean, it's just a thriller from start to finish. And I think MJ's experience in working in wilderness films really added to this.
Absolutely. It was actually less sort of action-packed and fast-paced than we were used to. So MJ and I were constantly checking in with each other and saying, are we doing this right? Is this where we want to be with this? Is this where the energy is? Because especially for me playing Jack Halsey, the character in this movie, he's much more of he's just a dad. Like that was the pitch was he's just a dad. And he's got some secrets, and you're not the action hero, and you're not the guy who has all the answers. So you got to figure that out. So we were constantly checking in with each other about how that worked within the context of this story.
Well, we'll talk about Rebecca in a moment, but I am so surprised at Jerry O'Connell's performance. I mean, I don't expect him to be a villain.
Yeah, right. He did an amazing job, and that's it's such a testament to Jerry, because he's the funniest man in the world, and he's quick-witted he's the quickest guy I've ever met. And then he pops up in here and he does this wonderfully sort of dark comedy role as the villain. And he turned up and did an amazing job.
And of course, his wife, Rebecca, is just an amazing talent. And, she grew up in this industry and just knows everything. Yeah.
I mean, she's such a pro. And that's, one of the things when you start seeing who's going to be involved in a show, you go, we're going to be okay. This is going to be all right. And she rocked up and she brought just a wealth of knowledge about, certain scenes and bits and pieces we were trying to work through. Anytime, I think one of the elements that really helped us in this movie was everyone was really like-minded. I mean, you're not going to get people who are afraid of stuff to hop on a plane in the middle of a pandemic and fly to Kenya. And so there was a lot of like-minded energy on that set where we were like, let's go, let's make this movie. Let's tuck in, let's get dirty and deal with the elements and do it. And Rebecca really led from the front with that energy. She's so brilliant at that. And we were damn lucky to have her.
I would imagine that every set you've been on, every episode of whatever series is an education.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tony. One of the things that you start to learn if you keep your eyes open in the industry is that you don't know it all. And every job, you meet someone who's had a different career from you and taken different roads from you, and you can learn from that person if you keep your eyes open. But also the crew, and also the people who do stuff from catering to the camera guys. You're always learning, and when you're in different countries, you're learning different techniques and how they do it. And so, it's one of my favorite things, actually. What you just mentioned is that we never stop learning in this industry. And I think a lot of things are like that, whether you're a lawyer or whether you're in law enforcement or whether you're a paramedic or a soldier or a teacher. You're constantly broadening your horizons so that you can put them to use in your life or in the lives of the people you're around. And acting's no different. We're just constantly learning. It's one of the biggest gifts in what we do. And
as you say, you've worked in Africa a few times.
Yeah.
What is the food like?
It's varied. I mean, the food where we were staying on this particular movie was incredible. We stayed at a place on the outskirts of Amboseli National Park, and the place was called a Tawi Lodge, which, I mean, look it up. It's this beautiful lodge and I think it used to be a hunting lodge. It has a watering hole on it. It has all these different individual cabins around it, which are sort of beautiful tents, really. And this watering hole, every morning the elephants would come in the morning, and they would drink the water and sunbathe themselves and put mud on their backs to protect them. And then the giraffe would come in. It was an incredible experience, and they grew all their own vegetables, and they had a fish pond there that they used. The food at Tawi Lodge was sensational. We were spoiled rotten there.
In our final minutes that we have, and thank you. By the way, the connection that you have is amazing.
Yeah, I'm on an island in the middle of the West Indies. It's incredible, right?
Yeah, I mean, wow. Does Bill Gates live nearby?
I don't know, actually. We're all 5G now, right?
Yeah, that's it. Everything is 5G.
That's it. Yeah,
with your COVID shot.
Yeah, that's right.
But what do you think audiences are going to pull from Endangered Species?
Look, on the surface, it's a drama thriller, right? About a complicated family and the family drama. I know MJ's hope in this movie was to bring attention to the illegal rhino horn trade and the illegal the trade of ivory, and also just to say, I had this moment when we were at that Tawi Lodge where I was watching these animals go to the water hole, and they were all taking turns, right? The elephants would be in there, and then the giraffes would come in, and then the zebra. And the warthogs were there the whole time, and the monkeys. They were taking turns, and I had this profound moment where I was like, well, the animals are taking turns, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Why can't we learn to take turns? Why can't we learn to just respect this group and say, okay, that's what's going on, and then something else will happen. I thought it just gave me this real insight into, we're certainly not we're not the apex predator in the sense of like the energy of these animals and the power of these animals, but it is our responsibility to take care of them. It's our responsibility to tend the garden, as it were, right? And so that's kind of what I learned by being out there, and perhaps maybe that'll come through in the movie.
Yeah, I hope so. I think animals have no ego, and we do. And
yeah, so right on.
That's what the problem is, we just
right on,
first and have the best seat,
Yeah, that's right.
Well, everybody's got a great seat for Endangered Species. If you watch it online, it's a beautiful movie, right. Beautifully filmed.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it just captured Kenya in such a profound way. Kenya is truly breathtaking. And if anyone gets a chance to visit Kenya or go on safari or a game drive in Kenya, I highly recommend it. It'll get into your blood. It's amazing.
Doesn't Stephanie Edwards have a reserve out there, the William Holden?
I don't know that. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, she was in Heart to Heart for years and lives in Africa.
I remember Heart to Heart, but I didn't know that she had a place out there. That's cool.
All you actors are supposed to know each other. I mean,
yeah, that's right. We're neighbors, right?
Well, I stay safe and stay healthy. And when you get back here, let's go out for a cup of coffee sometime.
Tony, that sounds great. And likewise, brother, stay safe out there. Thank you.
Bye. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.